What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I'm your host, Jimmy Smith, and I appreciate you taking the time here tonight. Sorry, a couple minutes late. Got a little emergency call, of course, 30 seconds before I went on. Had to take care of that. But truly appreciate each and every one of you tuning in. Oh, my Lord, what a day it has been. Now, earlier, I was working on some things, trying to get you the ways the Eagles can create cat space, and I was right. We got more than 10 ways. So I'm giving you 15 effing ways, and that's going to have to drop this weekend because, I get a nice little notification. 20 effing players signed by the Eagles. I'm like, oh, great. The reserve future contracts. So, my God, everything I wanted to do today, I knew I wasn't going to be able to. So I had to come home, try to put together these graphics as quickly as I possibly could. And I'm going to try to run through these as quick as I possibly can with you. But appreciate each and every one of you taking the time here. We've got all the Eagles news you need throughout this all season. I know. Trust me, I'm still reeling. I'm pissed off. And you know me, I wear Eagles stuff everywhere. It's on my car. I'm looking for it, baby. Come get it. And I take it all in stride, man. The gas station guy, just a little bit. I mean, everybody's got something to say, but I'm all about it, baby. Come get it. But this is what we do in these parts. I mean, I could sit here all off season, cry to you. We could do the same thing every fan did throughout the season and just whine, cut everyone, fire them all. Everyone sucks. We hate this team. Or I could sit here and explain how this team's going to get back on track. And that's what I'm going to do. So if you've seen the last couple of days, more information, you've seen all of these content creators, media people, all of a sudden coming up with all of this information. I'm doing my best to teach them how things work and get the right information out so that we're not every year dealing with Eagles are trading for Patrick Mahomes. Oh, we're firing every. Gets a little too much. So teaching them how the cap works. Love to see people finally understanding that stuff. Let's go. It took a few years, but change the game, baby. So let's continue doing that by teaching everyone how the offseason works. You know, people get furious about, why are we signing reserve? This is literally every offseason. It's part of the game. So if you tune into this show, you know that these are normal things. You know, this is how the NFL works. And we're going to break all that stuff down throughout the entire offseason. You sickos that are tuning in, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There is nowhere else you're going to get this much information. I put as much time as I possibly can into these things, even when dude, you just don't even understand. And I told you I'm going to make a behind the scenes video and just show you guys like a day of trying to put this with my life and just make this stuff happen. But it's always worth it because I love each and every one of you. Appreciate you all taking the time here. But a reserves future contract, that's just pretty much what I talked about every time we talk about those practice squad players. Those guys at the end of the season, they're not on the roster, right? They're on the practice squad. So they don't have a contract. So they either get signed to a reserve future deal, which means this summer, the future, they will be on this team competing. So that's all that means. It's just like, an off-season signing. That's what it should say, but it just confuses people with the reserve future stuff. But that's nothing crazy. A bunch of our guys from the practice squad are back. A few that aren't, that I know are hometown favorites. And then we've got some new guys. So I'm going to break down those new players. We're going to talk about them, their bio, their stats, everything you need to know about them. All the other players that are on the team, you can just type in their name and my name and you can search. I mean, there's videos, there's breakdown, there's all kinds of stuff on every single player we've ever signed. So the players that have already been here, I'm not going to go into crazy detail because it's already out there, but we'll talk about all of them. Let's effing go, baby. Yo, appreciate you tuning in, China. Let's get this effing party started. Appreciate you tuning in, Tiffany. Let's go, baby. Well, I'll be real with you. Yeah, it's going to be better. Chelsea called me, and weirdly enough, her mom just had to call the cops. Someone was following her home. So I was like, why don't you guys call me when this shit's going on? I would love an opportunity to get some of this rage out. And, well, it is what it is. But then I get a call from Chelsea, and she tells me that someone wants to play rowdy on the way home with her. So I was like, well, I'll move the show back. I was like, you just bring them right to the house. And she's like, no, they're already gone. I was like, damn it. So every time I get a little bit hungry, I don't get to quench that. It's all right. Don't need any of that in my life, but people are just wild, man. And in today's age, I think some people need a reminder of what happens to people like that. But hey, it is what it is. But Howie, look, let's be real here, man. I think Howie and we need to be working together here very soon. And Howie, look, man, I'm going to map it out every way. Now, Howie you guys know, I talk about that he needs to trade for DeAndre Swift, A.J. Brown. We get those guys. We get all these players. Howie's been doing, that's why I laugh when the people got to fire Howie. Like, dog, you got to stop listening to people that don't know football. Like, Howie did all he could, got us a bunch of linebackers, safeties, corners. Can't help that C.J. Gardner-Johnson didn't want to sign here. A bunch of morons out there. We should have said. It's embarrassing that people talk like experts and have no idea what's going on. But Howie's been doing his thing. Nobody can help that, this entire team wanted to suck ass at the end of the year. Nobody can. I mapped it out every week. Okay, here's the struggles on offense. Here's what we're doing on defense. This is how you got to fix it. And then all of a sudden, I'm an asshole because I don't want to fire and quit. And then all of a sudden, everybody's repeating me. And it's like, do you guys realize that happens almost every week? And it's like, it gets tiresome that I'm the asshole, even though a week later, everybody repeats it. It's like, okay, dude, weirdos, but you sickos, let's go. I know you're all pumped up for this. So let's get into this bad boy. And if they draft better than they have, holy hell, we're already the best drafting team, I think. So very excited to see that continue to go. Cowboys fan in my class. Ooh, dude. And that's my neighbor just gave him a head nod. I told you he was avoiding me the day of, Monday, the game. He was probably just waiting. Let's see how them Eagles do before he's. So I'm glad he didn't because I know I would have been talking shit. But tough times, ladies and gentlemen. But okay, Tiffany. And look, if you guys ever have questions, always here. Just ask away. But I thought I'd just explain it, just in case anybody had any questions. But if you have any throughout this, let's go. Not surprised at all. I think a lot of these guys leave with a sour taste in their mouth just because, especially the way the fans treat them. I don't think the organization is exactly, bad, but you can't ever leave here without, being like at first, everyone hates you. It's like Steichen. You fire him. He's the worst ever. And then you got to wait like a year. And then everyone's like, you remember how great? Like, I loved him. And it's like, wait, what? It's like Derek Barnett. Like, oh, you hate him more than everything. Now we should have never. It's like, wait, what? So just weirdo stuff, man. It's a new world. But yeah, everyone hates the Eagles. And, we give them a reason to. Now, I've always thought it was because of we were so passionate. But I don't know anymore, man, because we have the most passionate fans in the world. The diehards, there's no question about it. But I didn't know until I started this channel that there were just so many bandwagon fans, so many casual closet fans that are only fans when we're winning. The fair weather fan. And I had no idea that our fan base was just as much as the Cowboys. And that hurt. That hurt to come to that realization. But look, man, we diehards have to stand up and try to start doing some positive. We got to stop all these content creators attacking our players, making them not want to come back here. Nobody wants to sign here. Like, dude, I know people say it doesn't matter. They're not humans. It's a video game like Madden. They'll sign. And it's like, no, dog, they won't. Like, certain players won't come here because they hate this place. Like, I'm just being real with you. And, for those who are embraced, they understand it. And look, man, I'm all about getting on you when you're not doing well. But I'm not one of those people that's like, trade Jalen Hurts. He had a bad game. That's just, it doesn't have to be, from this side of the spectrum to this. You know what I mean? I'm right here. Like, I just try to be even keeled. So it is what it is. But he sure is a magician. And, love the man, truly. He is my long lost son. But yeah, it's bad. It's bad. But do you stay and go for Howie? No, man. That is for the players that are free agents. But let's jump into this now. I'm gonna have to start doing less of these live like I did last year in the offseason, just so we can get this content out. I want to be able to get the news to you quick. So some of these will be, non-live videos so that we're, on the topic and everything. But let's jump right into this. I'll get through this quick, and then you guys ask any questions, whatever you want. But here are the reserve future deals, and you see 11 on offense here. Got Clark, Davis, Harris, Hebert, Jenkins, Ngata, Nichols, Poe, Smith, Toth, and Watkins. So we know the Raven Clark. We had him here this whole season, a veteran piece, so that's okay. We'll talk about Davis and Harris, new pieces here. Griffin Hebert, we had signed a few weeks before the season was over. You can go check out the video on him. That will be under, the 2023 roster and practice squad moves. Go check out any of these players. They will all be there that I don't mention. E.J. Jenkins, he was signed here before. Ngata was here all year. Lou Nichols was here for about half the year. Jason Poe, he's a new addition. We'll talk about him here soon. Lestidus Smith was part of our practice squad this year. Brett Toth as well. New addition, Austin Watkins. So we've got a few new pieces on the offensive side. And then on defense, Booker and Ellis are back, along with Garner and Goodrich, Jackson, McCollum, Mullen, and Smith. All those guys were here. Only new piece there is Terrell Lewis. Got him listed as a linebacker, but he's one of those edge rushers, in my opinion, one of those tweeners, kind of, playing that Hassan Reddick role where I think he would be a good depth piece. So I'm intrigued by that signing, and we'll see how that works out for him this offseason. So, hey, he's got a chance to compete here. We'll see how he does. But that is the full list. And those 5 players that I just mentioned, the 15 others we have already talked about. So, again, you can go check out. If you can't find them or anything, I will happily, you can comment on this video. I will go find it for you. I will share the link to it, whatever you need. But shouldn't be hard to find. Type in their name on the Road to Victory or Jimmy Smith or whatever. You should be able to find it. I've been seeing guys like Tristan McCollum, other pieces. You just type their name in, and I'm the top person on Google. And that blows my mind, man. But let's go, baby. That's what we do. We let everybody else worry about all the clickbait and the hot takes, and we got to fire everyone. Let's talk about what's actually happening with the Eagles. So, new players in the house, baby. We've got 5 of them. So let's talk about these 5 players, where they're from, what they got going on here, what they've done in their career. Let's break it down. Have any questions about them? Let's jump right into it. But Jason Poe here, he is a freak athlete here at guard and center, 25 years old, 6'1", 300 pounds. This is his second, or he's played in 2 years. This will be his 3rd year. Not experience-wise, because you got to actually be on the active roster, whatever. But he's been in the league since 21, I believe, or 22, I apologize. Undrafted free agent, was with San Fran, with the Jets there. But this kid, he can play guard and center, and he's got that athleticism that I think he had like a 4.940 for a big boy. He can move. So, hey, a versatile depth piece. And if Kelsey truly is retiring, we know that's up in the air, but we'll see. But you've got a guy, like a Cam Jurgens that can move around there, and it's a big boy. So all about it, baby. Now, I don't have any of his stats. He's a lineman. That stuff's hard to find. Just didn't have time. So just boom, there's that for you. Now let's move it on to the wide receivers here. And we got a few new pieces here at wide receiver. First up, Shaquan Davis. And he was just with the New Orleans Saints. He was an undrafted kid last year out of South Carolina State. 6'5", 215 pounds. Oh, all right, I'll take it. But look, I like this kid. Don't know too much about him. Try to look up a little bit before I came on. I remember him a little bit from the draft. But look, he's a big dude. He high points the ball, but he's not exactly like the fastest guy. Doesn't have great burst, anything like that. And not exactly the greatest of hands. So, again, he's an undrafted kid. So throughout this offseason, when you have pieces like this, you're going to be talking about guys that, you're either going to have the fans say, oh, this guy's the next Hall of Famer, he's starting, or you're going to have this guy sucks. Why would we sign someone in the offseason when you could have 90 players? We don't need to sign anyone. It's wild. But look, Shaquan Davis is here. He is going to be here this summer. We'll see how he does. But 6'5", 215, somebody's going to say, guys starting over A.J. Brown just because of that size. So if someone's tall or has a fast 40, automatic Hall of Fame in the NFL. Apparently, not from what I've watched, but you can see he has not done anything in the NFL. So just went with the South Carolina State Bulldogs stats here. And you can see he played in 36 games, started 28 of them, 126 catches, 2,648 yards, 21 yards per catch. I like that. And 27 touchdowns. Okay, so look, he played at South Carolina State, so take it all with a grain of salt. But, the kid, again, he's got the nice size. He's got the prototype that you want. But, again, he lacks that burst in the hands. And as a wide receiver, that's kind of what I'm looking for. So, best of luck to him, but not the most exciting for me. Maybe he develops here this summer. We'll see. But up next, I've got another receiver here in Austin Watkins, 25 years old, 6'3", 210. Had 2 years in the league out of UAB, undrafted by San Francisco, spent some time with Tampa Bay and Cleveland. I believe he was in the CFL as well. But look, he's had a few years under his belt. Nothing in the NFL stat-wise, but he's got 25 games at the University of Alabama at Birmingham. 18 starts in those 25 games, 97 catches, 1,640 yards, 16.9 yards per catch, and 9 touchdowns. I didn't add his junior college stats, but here are his FBS stats. And look, again, you're kind of gonna see a theme here. Some guys that in college were able to do some things, spread the field a little bit. But look, undrafted kids, that are going to be fighting for depth positions here, helping on special teams. So try not to get too worked up here. But up next, one last receiver to talk about here. And I think I like this one the most here. Jacob Harris, 26 years old and 6'5", 211. And he has had 3 years out of UCF. He was a 4th-round pick 141 back in 2021 by the Rams. He's played for the Rams and the Jaguars there. But nothing stat-wise in the NFL. But I do have his stats from Central Florida there. Canva, you're about to get your asses beat. You keep messing with my graphics, dude. Like, I save them a certain way, and obviously Central Florida is supposed to be on one line. Okay, you jackasses. But 36 games. All right, 11 starts. We've got 49 receptions, 987 yards, 20.1 yards per catch with 9 touchdowns. I told you I really was pushed to put this together, so I apologize. But you can see this Jacob Harris kid, another, over 20 yards per catch there. I'm down with that. So I like this kid. He can play inside and outside. He is somebody I am familiar with. But look, he's not somebody that, you're going to, again, this kid is signing to a reserve future contract for a reason, but he's somebody that he's a former soccer player. He's got great size. He's got great speed. He's got all of those things that you want. He's got that prototype, and he actually really shows it too, but he needs to put it all together. I just think for his size, he should be able to use his body more. I just really think that he should be more physical. He really just, from what I've seen, but again, I'm not an expert on Jacob Harris. I'm going to try to do some more studying on these guys as I can as the summer approaches. But, I do like this kid, and over 20 yards per catch there. You can sign me the hell up for that. We need some help. We need some depth there. We're going to be looking in the draft. We'll be looking in free agency. You saw stay or go last night. We talked about all the players I think should stay, who should go. A few receivers were in there, so go check that bad boy out. But, hey, looking for all the help you can get. And if some of these guys in the right situation, you can unlock something, oh, hell yeah. Now, the final piece here that we signed, Terrell Lewis. And I had mentioned, got him listed as a linebacker, but he's one of those prototype edge rushers, Hassan Reddick, Patrick Johnson, Nolan Smith, the position they're playing. So, yeah, you could call him linebacker, but outside linebacker, defensive end, edge rusher, 6'5", 262 pounds. 4 years in the league. He's 25, out of Alabama. Let's go. Round 3, pick 84 in 2020 by the Rams. He has spent time with the Bears and the Saints also, but he actually has some NFL stats. So let's take a gander at how Terrell Lewis has done in his career. He's played in 30 games, 7 starts, 40 tackles, 8 for a loss, 1 forced fumble, 6 sacks, 10 quarterback hits, an interception, and 3 passes deflected. So I'd mentioned Terrell Lewis to you, during the beginning of the video. I actually like this kid. Like, I actually think this is a good addition here. And of course, you're going to hear people like, we don't need a linebacker now. Like, this is not an off-ball stack linebacker. This is not where Zach Cunningham, Nicholas Morrow, this dude is not taking their role. Again, think of depth behind Hassan Reddick, Nolan Smith, maybe Patrick Johnson. And we're going to talk about, I really wish I could have got that show out. I put so much work into it. So I guess it'll be easier to finish it off. But I've got 15 ways the Eagles can create space. And then I've got 3 more players that I know you're going to ask me about, bringing their contract details just to show you why. Yeah, I'm not going to give it away, but we're going to talk about cutting, trading, restructuring, extending, all those things. And I see a lot of people trying to do that now. You are welcome for teaching you how to do that, but don't worry. I will be here to do it and teach them how it actually works because I see people still butchering it. Dude, just ask me. If you're going to take the content, just ask me how it's done so you don't make it look like Eagles fans are that dumb. Please, God, just hit the like button. It's crazy out there, man. Crazy. But look, I can't do it without you sickos. You keep tuning in. We'll keep standing on top of this thing. We'll keep showing these people that we know where you're getting this information from. We know damn well where you're getting it from. But look, tomorrow is Fan Friday. So taking all your questions, all your comments about everything that's coming to, whether it be the coaches, the players, everything. I'll give you another recap of what's coming your way this summer. And all, the stuff before that. But, if you need anything, you can reach out. But I will try to do something this weekend. We'll talk about Sirianni, what his game plan is. I'll make a show just for that. And that'll be after I get this show out about creating cap space. I want people to understand that stuff. And if you ever have questions, I'm not being a jerk to you guys. It's the people watching taking my stuff. I can't take it anymore, man. You have so many subscribers. You get so many things because of my work, and it is driving me to a point where I can't stand it anymore. Like, you can give credit for the people that do the work. Yo, Stavian, appreciate you tuning in. Man, we can the best players in the league. Draft the best. What are your thoughts on offense, defense? Most important to anything. Yeah, the coordinators, we're going to be talking about that throughout the offseason. We're going to be adding to that. Obviously, we just talked about those the last few days. Definitely looking forward to seeing what Sirianni's game plan is if they keep him here in-house. We can turn one of these projects into a role player. Exactly. And, you hope that they just make the practice squad. Maybe they're diamond in the rough. They make the active roster. Hell yeah. But you're just hopeful that these are the guys that, you want to take a look at. You want them to get acclimated to the system. You want them to get to know the guys, because if they don't make the active roster, then they're on the practice squad. You've got multiple players that can come back. And we kept you up to date every damn day with all the practice squad players. And that stuff, is important. But it's also, you don't need to overreact to it where you see people doing all the time. But yeah, you're getting big guys, home run threats, guys that need a little development, but that's, reserve future contracts. That's usually what you're going to find. So, and exactly, man. And you guys remember that year I talked about TJ Edwards was my diamond in the rough, and I got a lot of slack for that one. Now everyone's calling for how dumb Howie is that TJ Edwards went and signed a huge contract. Dog, I don't know how to explain this to people, but free agency, they get to decide where they go. Like, there's no one like forcing them. They can't do that unless they're restricted free agent. But they can sign wherever they want. TJ Edwards got that bag, man. He earned it, and I'm happy for him. But that's not Howie's failure. That's just a lack of education for those people saying it. So, hell, it is what it is. I'll continue to educate while they continue to hate. So, it is what it is. I've already seen it, guys. I'm doing my best here to ignore all of it and just get to you sickos. Try to post the content that's actually valuable. So, if you're somebody that actually likes talking football, wants to talk about what's going on, you can tune in here. Now, if you're somebody you just want to talk about, we got to fire everyone, cut everyone every second of every day, tune into Fan Friday. That's what that's for. You guys just want to say like the same stuff everyone's saying that we talk about every day. That's what Fan Friday's for. You missed the show. You know what I mean? Like, that's what that's for. So tune in there. I always try to do my best, but I make shows for a reason with topics so you guys can tune in and be like, oh, that's what we're talking about. But Fan Friday tomorrow, that's everything you want to know about. Are we, signing Vince Papali? Are we getting, Vince Lombardi from the grave? All the crazy things the media is telling everybody, we can happily talk about it. That's what Fan Friday is for. But during the week, I try to give you valuable information. So that way, when you're done watching, you're like, holy shit, I just learned some stuff. That's what this show is about. I want other content creators to be able to build their channel off of facts, not with all the misinformation, all the stuff we've been seeing for years, just fighting with Cowboys. Like, that's corny, dude. So let's keep giving them the information they need to make them look like the smartest people alive. That's what this show is about. And you sickos keep tuning in. We don't have to worry about them, because eventually then it's going to be, hey, wait, are they stealing this dude's work? They are. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get rolling out. I'm going to go see how everything's going here. Maybe I'll go lay the beat down on someone, but I love each and every one of you. I cannot thank you enough. If you have any questions, you missed the beginning of this, you want to know about somebody in detail, again, you want one of those videos I already made on the other 15 players, you can't find it, I'll happily try to help you find it. But always here for you. So reach out if you need anything. But have yourselves a great rest of your night. I will be back tomorrow for Fan Friday live, taking all your questions, all your topics, everything that is on your mind. We'll answer the same things we've been answering forever, whatever you guys want to do. It doesn't matter to me. That's why I literally made Fan Friday, because I know a lot of people just want to talk about what the media is. So that's what that show is for. I'll leave all the football stuff to all the other days, and we'll get into it tomorrow. But if anything happens in between then, I will be making a video. We'll talk about it. But have yourselves a great rest of your night. Cannot thank you enough for tuning in here. And OMG. Yeah, that's what she said. Appreciate you tuning in, but I'm rolling out. Until next time, I'm Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You all have yourselves a great night. Stay safe out there. And as always, say it with me now. Go Birds!